For over 60 years, the Chevrolet Corvette has been an American icon. And anytime they introduce a new model, it's a big deal. And today is a big deal. This is the all-new 7th generation, or C7, 2014 Corvette, and it is by far the best Corvette ever. This C7 is all new. Everything has been completely redesigned, but they did have some carryover design cues. For example, this grille is very reminiscent of the very first generation Corvette back in 1953. A lot of car companies talk about race-inspired technology, and that's all good and fine, but this is race-proven technology. Chevrolet is a company that is committed to racing, and a lot of that has gone into this Corvette. For example, this all-new aluminum frame, it's 100 pounds lighter than the outgoing model. Another thing you want to look at are the proportions. Now, the Porsche 911 is arguably the standard for this segment, but if you were to put these cars side by side, they were within about 1/10 of an inch as far as the width, the height, the track, etc. And so this car is a lot more athletic than past Corvettes, and I think it's safe to make the argument that it is just as athletic as a Porsche 911 for about $40,000 to $50,000 less. The new Corvette was designed from the ground up to be a convertible, and what that means is it's very stiff whether it has the top on or the top off. Now, every coupe comes with a removable top, which in my opinion is the best of both worlds. It's called the Targa top, and when you're not using it, you can store it back here in the hatchback area. It actually even acts as a cover for some of your valuables down here. So this is a great design, really the way to get the best of all the worlds, and I just think this look is beautiful. It's Corvette. This Stingray was built for the track, and one of the features is this driver selector mode that's located just below the either automatic shifter or in this case the 7-speed manual shifter. Now you have 5 modes to select from. Weather, which will give you the maximum traction. Then you have Eco, which is designed for maximum fuel economy. And the 3 primary driving modes are going to be Touring, which will give you comfort, Sport, which will be nice and aggressive for maybe some canyon carving, and then you have Track mode, which is just what it sounds like. It optimizes this vehicle for the track, and believe me, it delivers. Under the hood is a very impressive and capable 6.2-liter V8 engine. Now, not only does it get 460 horsepower, not only does it propel you from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, but it can get 30 miles to the gallon on the highway. That's thanks to a lot of technology, including the fact that this car is very lightweight at around 3,300 pounds, but it also has cylinder deactivation that takes it from a V8 down to a V4. Great technology, and all this has made it to a 6-speed automatic or a 7-speed manual. Chevrolet took their biggest weakness, which was the interior of the 6th generation Corvette, and now made it arguably their biggest strength. This thing is beautiful, but it also really works. So let's talk about the seats, for example. The old seats, they were kind of sloppy. These seats, not so much. They're actually very tight, and these are just the touring seats. You can actually get sports seats. They have magnesium in there to make them lighter, but also stronger. What I really like is this cabin. Now, the outgoing model, it had some really questionable materials, but when you touch this car, you really feel like you're in a German sports car, and why not? Because Chevrolet is really committed to this car, and we just love what they've done. This steering wheel, for example, it's a 360 millimeter steering wheel. It's the smallest Corvette steering wheel ever, but it works. If you get the 7-speed manual, which of course I highly recommend, you get downshift rev matching, which worked brilliantly today. If you get the automatic, which is 6-speed ZF transmission, you have the paddle shifters. Any way you look at it, this car is designed around the driver. That's why this cockpit area really surrounds the driver. But they haven't forgotten about the passenger. One little thing I want to note here, it's a small thing, but the climate controls are all the way into the right vent where the passenger is. You could even adjust your heated or cooling seats. It's a great feature, and it kind of keeps the passenger over here and lets the driver do what he does best, or she, and just drive. There are so many wonderful things to talk about this Corvette. I could go on and on about the engine, the exhaust note, the way it handles, but none of that would matter if this car was priced at $100,000, which it easily could be. But this car comes in at $53,000, and the major option on it is a $2,800 Z51 handling package, which I, again, highly recommend because it just makes this car that much better. But to think that you can get a car that can go 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds at $53,000 that sounds like this, that looks like this, it's really kind of a no-brainer, and really should make a lot of Porsche and maybe Jaguar F-Type buyers kind of scratch their head and ask, why am I paying all that money when I could have this?